Hi, everybody. We're here today with Jenny Sanders, who is our Vice President of Faculty Experience and Academic Services. Jenny's here to talk about an exciting new program today called our Faculty Innovation Champions Program. As we have really sharpened our focus over the last couple of years on access and attainment and completion and post-completion impact, it's been very important for us to begin to understand our student journey and our student experience, not just in aggregate, but one by one. And the only way to really get that kind of insight is to enlist the very people who have frontline access to our students and our student experience, our faculty, across all of our faculty roles. The Faculty Innovation Champions program is meant to help us do this, and I'm so excited about it and so excited to talk to Jenny today about how this program is launching and what we're learning as it does. Jenny, thanks for being here today.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
To talk about this exciting work. I'm so excited about it. So for those at WGU who don't have a detailed understanding of what the Faculty Innovations Champions, who they are and what this program is, can you tell us a little bit about it and what it's meant to accomplish?
Yeah. So I share your excitement about the program, and this is intended to bring together faculty members from all of the different faculty roles at WGU. We have a specialized faculty model with our mentors, instructors, evaluators, and also, assessment developers, instructional designers, folks in program development, and to really bring them together to think together, bringing in their different perspectives, their kind of more frontline perspectives on really tough problems to solve. And we know that they have incredible insights that it's hard for us to see. And this is a chance for us to learn from them in a really focused way, for them to be part of the solving, and also to kind of bridge the gaps of their understanding about one another's roles. We have a tendency for them to, kind of work in silos, and they see different aspects of the student experience. What an evaluator sees is very different than what a mentor or an instructor might see, for example. And what an assessment developer is thinking about as they're designing for students is different, right, sometimes than what those other faculty roles see. So this is, I think, just an awesome opportunity for us to not only harness their insights, but to allow for that collaboration that builds all of our collective understanding in a powerful way to solve these problems.
Absolutely. And we talk all the time about our community of care, and we do have a community of care like no other university in the country. However, we haven't done a great job in the past at bringing that community together as active solvers of some of our bigger, more complex problems. And we haven't really brought them into the systems work around those problem spaces. So this is really exciting and important. Can you talk a little bit about this is a new program. This is the first year that we've had it at WGU. How was this inaugural cohort selected?
Yeah, great question. So we sent out a form, and it was open to any full-time faculty member in any of those roles. And they had to provide a little bit of, information about themselves, and then what was a really important problem they were interested in solving. What's something that they see? And also, some ideas, how they would think about solving the problem. What's sort of the first step they might think about? And then those answers were put into a smart sheet and names and everything removed. And we had a cross-functional group kind of go through them. And we had a rubric for, what we were sort of looking for in terms of the way they're thinking about problems, the way that they're kind of making different types of connections that would make them a really great problem-solving team member, and basically scored them, right, the way that we do at WGU with assessments, and then selected our folks that way, and we wanted to make sure it was also a very diverse group in all perspectives. So we have representation from all of the different faculty roles, all of the colleges, as well as program development, and I have to say, I'm so thrilled with the group that has come together. They bring just a wealth and breadth of experience and interest and expertise that I just can't wait to see what they produce.
Yeah, me either. I got the chance to meet them the other day, and it was amazing to see their representation across the different faculty roles and to see the coherence of their understanding of what the problem spaces are, and the way they were talking about it was so compelling. And I can't wait to see what they do either. So it's early in the process. This just got started. But, how are the champions getting started? Like, what are the first steps?
Yeah, great question. So we are being very intentional about how we bring this group together. And knowing that many of them have never worked with someone in some of these roles before in a direct way. We actually started with some team building, some community circle types of SEL practices, and also training. So they're going through some IDEO design thinking training, really helping them understand the different ways to go about problem solving and to think through that. They're also engaging in a program called Equity in Design, where they're thinking about how are we framing problems in ways that further equity rather than serve as a barrier to it? And how are the ways that we're thinking about who we involve and the steps that we take to make sure that when we're solving the problem, that we're solving it for everyone? And I have to say, another thing that we've really emphasized is because this is part of that equity effort coming from the provost office and that we're all engaged in at WGU, we're also very focused on something, that maybe people have heard about called the curb cut effect, that refers to when some disabled advocates cut out some curb. They poured, cement in Berkeley and created a ramp for themselves so they could go, from the sidewalk to the street in a smoother way. And that became more of a practice, right? Now you see curb cuts all over the place. And it's not just that group that benefits. So many people benefit, right? People who are pushing strollers or travelers with their, their rolling suitcases. It helps everyone. And so we're really thinking through how do we identify these problems and really think about equitable solves on the margins that will then have a beneficial impact for all of our learners.
Yeah, I love that. And that's what equity is all about. I mean, we are solving for our learners one by one. For the first time, at WG, we've always been attentive to individuals in our process. And we've always given our individual students potentially more care than they would have gotten almost in any other university. But this active reflection on what that means and how we can build that care more intentionally into our systems to benefit particular individual students, but also to benefit the whole, is to me what equity is all about. So it's super exciting. So as you're getting started, and I love the IDEO training and the equity, what did you call it? The
Equity in design.
Equity and design training. That is an amazing foundation for these folks to start building on. And the focus on identifying the problem to be solved and building empathy around that problem is such a critical part of that work and so powerful for what they're going to solve ahead. Can you share are you ready to share some insights about the types of problems and solution spaces that they're identifying for the work?
So they're still formulating their problem statements, but there are 5 main areas that they're focused on. So one is just better communication and collaboration among faculty roles, all of the faculty roles, and that includes how we create really rich course experiences, both within the official courses themselves and also things that could be supplemental to that and the involvement and ways we can do that in an equitable way. Also looking at how do we build learner confidence in populations where they might be first in family or there are other barriers to that. Also their sense of belonging. How do we create an environment and experience among our community of care that really enhances belonging for our learners of all backgrounds? Also, what are those really high impact friction points? And I know friction points are something you're very passionate about. And I have to say, as part of the experience with the Innovation Champions coming in recently, we did go through and introduce the hero moments to them. And they were thrilled about that. And I recognized how this is a very synergistic thing where we're using their insights kind of bottom up to really understand more about what's happening in their world and those insights. And this was a chance for them to see this bigger picture. Many of them were like, whoa, like there's so much more going on than we ever knew. Yeah. And something else I thought was really fantastic was several of them mentioned, when they looked at certain hero moments, they thought, you do know about that friction point. Yeah. Oh, you are noticing. And you do listen to us. And I was like, yes, we do, but there's a lot on the back end. There's just a lot going on. And they got an appreciation for that. And that was something I hadn't quite anticipated in the same way. So I was really happy to see that. So there's lots of really exciting areas where they're still honing in on their exact problem statements because there's a lot to solve in all of those areas. Yeah. But what could we work on this year?
Yeah, and that is the idea, right? That they're going to pick problems that are solvable in a fairly short time frame. So we should be able to see some of these solutions in action by the end of this fiscal year, perhaps the beginning of the next.
Yes, yeah. The plan is they're taking, with the IDEO approach, right, really taking some time to do research and discovery for this first quarter, really honing those problem statements of what do we know, and then prototyping, and then launching a pilot, we hope, in the second half of this year, getting some data and understanding about what we would want to then extend forward.
Thank you so much, Jenny, for being here today to talk to us about this program. I am so excited about it and so thankful that you have taken this on with such style and grace as usual, and that you're pushing the work forward, because I know that not only will it get us to great solves in this year, but it has so much potential to scale and expand its impact in the years to come.
Thank you, Marnie.
So now let's meet some of our new faculty innovation champions.
Our primary role is looking at what's not working, what is working, how can we improve the processes that aren't working with innovative solutions.
The fact we're champions, we're really gonna elevate these problem-solving ideas and really think about, what's next for the university and where can we be 5 years from now, 10 years from now.
I'm very passionate about instructional design, so tell us how we can make those courses absolutely beautiful for our students. And so the only way we could do that is with our faculty, is with our instructors, is with all these different places, and we've got to build those bridges and start connecting.
This is a great opportunity to bring all those people together in a way that they can then really solve problems and look at issues at a much deeper level than we probably can in our day-to-day work.
I would say for me, it's collaborating with other people and getting to know other fabulous people like Zanaya.
In addition to meeting really cool new people, it's learning more about the programs that are going on and getting a behind-the-scenes look of what's happening. So I'm really excited to learn more about the university.
I think that's what the Faculty Innovation Champions are about, is bringing in the expertise, figuring out how we can develop, how we can deliver these ideas, how we can impact the students with not just the content of our courses, but also how they can rethink things and rethink the way they do things.
Faculty Innovation Champions means hope. Hope for a better future for our students, and hope to be able to make a real positive impact to have our students succeed, and for us to be able to work together across the various roles and across the different teams.
I've learned that within the faculty model, each faculty member has their own idea of what the problem is, and even their own subject in terms of who's dealing with that problem, right? So I might, from my perspective, see that the problem is for the student, and someone else might say the problem is for the faculty member, and someone else might say the problem is for the manager, or for the mentor, or for the instructor, right? And so one problem can have many different points of view and many different people that are impacted.
We all have different pieces of the learner's journey puzzle as we go along, whether it's evaluation, whether it's instruction, mentoring, student success, and being able to come together and put those all together to solve something to help impact both our faculty and our students is something that I'm really excited about.